Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another YouTube video, and today we have another great special episode planned for you guys, and we are going to be talking about the number one thing you need to know in NFTs if you are trying to make money. And overall, I wish I knew this when I started out trading NFTs, and if I knew this from the start, I would have made a lot more money. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the whole entire video, and I do think that whether you're a beginner or whether you're experienced in the NFT space, I do believe this will be beneficial. And if you haven't already, please make sure to click the like button and subscribe down below with notifications on so I can keep you guys in the NFT loop. And as always, remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and we're gonna roll the intro and get right into it. Alright guys, so jumping right into it, the number one thing that you should know in the NFT space is that essentially everything is speculation and there's not a ton of actual utility. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for saying that, but in my personal opinion, this is just true. Furthermore, like I said, if I knew this when I first started out in the NFT space, I would be up a lot of money. And if you guys can understand this one concept, I do think it can definitely benefit your trading. So if you are trading NFTs in the NFT space, one thing that's important to note is that a lot of the times you're not really trading a JPEG necessarily. You're basically trading opinions and hype and speculation for the time being, or at least that's how I like to think about it. A lot of the times people will say it's about the utility. However, a lot of people don't really care about the utility. And I actually have a tweet up on my page and it says the number one utility is essentially buying your JPEG low and selling it for more than you bought it for. And as of right now, that is the case most of the time in the NFT market. A lot of people are just in here for the money. There's nothing wrong with that. I think everyone loves money. So it is definitely important to note that the prices in the entire market across the board are overinflated. So does this mean you can't make any money? This is actually quite the opposite. Because we are currently in somewhat of a bull run or mania phase, you can actually make a lot of money. However, just keeping this in the back of your mind is definitely going to help you a ton while trading. So in this YouTube video, the number one thing that I'm going to be talking about is going to be buying the rumor and selling the news. And this is not new in any case. People have been doing this for quite some time, whether it's with stocks or crypto, but the same applies with NFTs. So essentially what this means is when a rumor will start, people are going to speculate and think it's really cool, and as a result people are going to be buying into that NFT set, thus causing the NFT price to move up in value. Then typically when the news is released or when their announcement is released, the speculative traders will exit their positions and it will inevitably lead to this dump here. So what do I mean by this? So a lot of the times NFT projects will come out with a roadmap and they will basically be stating a lot of the things that they have planned in the future. This way, as an NFT trader, you have something to look for, and you're also going to be more incentivized to hold because you're looking forward to an event happening. However, this doesn't necessarily always have to just do with the roadmap. A lot of the times there will be some insider information or insider trading or just rumors speculating around the NFT space, and as a result the NFT set will typically pump. And if the rumor is true and they make an announcement, typically it could go higher, but it usually ends up going lower in the mid to long term. So if you guys are still confused by this concept, one example is going to be the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So this NFT set definitely does a great job of engaging people's interest, and a lot of people are holding because they always usually have something to look forward to. So the Bored Ape Yacht Club just recently actually launched their land called The Other Deeds, and everyone was super excited about this. However, if we look into the charts, we can see the same exact thing that I'm talking about play out. So a few weeks ago, they did actually announce that they're releasing their ape token and their Other Deeds land, and as a result, you guys can see people were buying this up, expecting this to be absolutely huge, and the price ran up all the way to around 160 Ethereum for one Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is absolutely crazy. However, when the land actually released and launched, as you guys can see, there was a huge sell-off. Now, this was because a lot of people were disappointed with the way they launched their NFT set. However, this is just something that usually happens as soon as the news is launched. This is because people don't really have anything to look forward to. They don't really have anything to speculate on. Therefore, they're just going to sell and take their profits because they're up so much money. So understanding this one concept is absolutely huge and crucial. And if you guys can just keep this in the back of your head, I know for a fact you can make a lot of money, especially if you use this while trading. I typically always like to look for catalysts when I invest into an NFT set because we can speculate on a narrative that will play out. And as soon as everyone is hyped and speculating on a specific event, it's smart to sell right before, or at least that's what I like to do. Again, not financial advice. That way I can exit at this point here near the top. You don't have to sell the top exactly, but you will get out with a lot of profit. So essentially you want to buy into NFT projects that have events or upcoming events that people can look forward to. This way people can speculate on it and the price can run up. Okay, so now we're gonna go into a few case studies and see this play out time and time again, just to give you guys an idea and just to show you guys how you should be trading these speculation events. So the first one we're gonna pull up here is gonna be Cool Cats, and another very, very important thing to note is that once a project delivers, it usually does not turn out well. So this is gonna be one example for this. Again, I love the Cool Cats. I am a holder, but if we look at the charts, it's gonna be the same story of buying the rumor and selling the news. So they did have their Cool Pets, which is their secondary set launch, and basically after they delivered and after the game came out, a lot of people didn't really like it. So as you guys can see here, we had this large run up as people were speculating. Then as it came out, we see this large downturn. So in hindsight, or in theory, it's smart to buy over here before the news or event happens, and then there's this large run up, and typically if you can exit here at the top, that would be perfect ideally. Again, it's easier said than done, but this is just a strategy to keep in your back pocket. So you might be asking yourself, you know, they came out with this really cool game, they have this secondary set, why isn't the price moving up when the news hits? So like I said, a lot of the NFT market is based off of hype and FOMO. So we did have this large run up here, and they actually topped out at around 16 Ethereum, which is roughly $50,000 at that time. And once a product comes out, people are essentially going to say to themselves, okay, is this actually worth $50,000 to earn milk and play their game? And more times than not, the answer is unfortunately going to be no. So that's why the price goes down. People are going to realize that it's not really worth as much as they thought it was, and it does eventually decline, at least in the long run. And guys, this is actually not the only case. Another one is going to actually be the CyberKongz NFT set. So they basically had this announcement saying that they're coming out with this really cool play and collect game. Again, I am very bullish on the CyberKongz, and I am actually a holder, but the concept is the same. Basically, everyone thought that this NFT game was going to be huge and it's going to be the next big thing, and everyone was speculating. The price runs up, and as soon as the game comes out and the team announces it and they deliver, it's inevitably just going down, just because it can't live up to the hype, and it's just as simple as that. So you do get this large sell-off. So if you could sell before that point, that would be ideal. Therefore, you don't have to be holding the bag. I am currently down a tremendous amount on those two NFT sets just because I actually bought like over here, and I didn't sell the news when it came out, unfortunately. So I am down a little bit. So make sure you guys learn from my mistakes. That way you guys don't have to make these mistakes for yourself, and you can actually make a lot of profit. And that's what the NFT channel is all about. Another concept I do want to briefly cover is going to be the play to earn gaming aspect. So play to earn is honestly pretty cool. I do think it's going to be the future in the long term. However, right now it just doesn't make too much sense. One of the best examples is Wolfgame. Everyone will love this. Basically every influencer was in, myself included, and they made a lot of money, at least for the midterm. However, as of right now, the game is slowly tapering off and not a lot of people are actually playing it. This is because it's hard to get people's interest in the game for the long term, especially as soon as it's not profitable. A lot of the times the games aren't really fun, therefore people only play it to make money, and as soon as the token goes down even a little bit, or it's not profitable, people are just going to sell. So that's typically what happens with these P2E games. Another example of this is going to be Raid Party. I know a lot of my friends were heavily invested in this NFT set, and now you know, it's kind of not doing too hot, or at least as it once was. And this is very typical for the play to earn games because they typically have some Ponzi-nomics involved. Again, in the long term, I think play to earn is going to be huge and massive, but as of right now, it's just not a super viable concept. I think it could be pretty profitable for like 2 weeks to around maybe a couple of months, but in the long term, the space is just way too new, and as soon as people don't make money, they will eventually sell and the set will go down. So although buying the rumor and selling the news is typically a good idea, I'm going to be going over one case scenario that goes against this narrative, and that's going to be Azuki. So Azuki basically pumped to, I want to say, around 19 Ethereum, and they actually had this airdrop called the Beans. So that's this NFT collection here. So you were given 2 beans, and at the time being, they were actually trading for 5 Ethereum each. So Azuki holders were basically given 10 Ethereum, and on top of that, instead of Azuki dipping, it actually went up in price, just because everyone was so bullish on this. So I did want to bring this up because, you know, not all the time this happens, so I did want to put this on your radar just so you guys know. So that kind of leads us to the question, what utility should we actually be looking for? And my brother actually made a pretty good video on it. Make sure you guys check his channel out. But basically, the whitelist marketplace is one that I really like. Launch pads as well as tools. I think tools are really huge, and I think the play to earn aspect is definitely going to be big, but if it only makes sense, a lot of the times it's a big Ponzi scheme and it crumbles on itself. So if a project can properly implement this into a marketplace or into their NFT project, I think that will be very bullish, but for the time being, we just haven't really seen that just yet. So basically, to wrap things up, essentially you do want to buy the rumor and sell the news. Typically it works out, I would say 9 out of 10 times, and a lot of the times in the NFT space it's just really hard to live up to those high expectations. So essentially, to summarize the whole entire strategy, you want to buy before basically everyone is super excited and hyped up about it, and then when the news basically hits, you want to sell a little bit before that, or at least that's what I would personally do. That way you don't have to hold on to the bag and lose a ton of money when it inevitably moves down in price. And that's basically the strategy that I've been using for quite some time, and it has actually worked. I've been doing this for several months and I've made a decent amount of money doing this. So if you guys can implement this into your trading and understand the concept pretty well, I do think that it can benefit you. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed the video or learned anything at all, please make sure to click the like button and subscribe. It does help out the YouTube channel. But I will catch you guys in the next YouTube video, and I appreciate you all so much, and I hope we all make some money in the NFT space. But I'll catch you later. Peace. Hope you have a great day. Bye bye.